Today I'm talking about when to be concerned about tantrums. So let's get into some things that would be concerning. Now, tantrums are normal for all toddlers, and they usually get a whole lot better by the time a child is 3 years old, especially for children who have a language delay. Tantrums are, I have found, more intense because they can't express their needs and their wants, and they're so frustrated all the time. But regardless of that, and again, as you see their language increase, those tantrums go down. I've seen it every time. Language goes up and tantrums go down. But let's talk about what to expect and when we should be worried about tantrums and seek further help. If a child has 10 to 20 tantrums within a 30-day period, that's considered not typical. As well as if a child has more than 5 tantrums in one day for multiple days in a row, within a 30-day period. I know that's kind of confusing, but it's the frequency. If your child is having really frequent tantrums, so that's 5 in a day on multiple days within a month, then that is not typical. If tantrums are regularly lasting longer than 25 minutes on average, that's considered not typical. If the child is unable to calm himself, meaning that he really needs an adult to intervene for himself to stop that crying, then that's really not typical. Children should be developing self-regulatory skills where they're able to soothe themselves. If your child is consistently showing acts of aggression during a tantrum, like hitting and kicking and biting, and that's happening a lot, then that's really not typical either. Or if the child is trying to hurt themselves during a tantrum, like hitting themselves, banging their head, scratching themselves, biting themselves, that's not typical either. Also look out for some behaviors that don't really seem typical. If they seem to you like kind of unusual reaction to the situation, or if they seem to be self-stimming in a way. So for example, like if the child is flapping their hands continuously and repetitively during a tantrum, or if they are blinking over and over, or if they're banging, not in a way of hurting themselves, but just like kind of slapping their legs over and over, if they're rocking, any of those kind of behaviors that just don't seem like a common response, like it kind of seems out of place or stimulatory in a way of stimulating themselves or exciting themselves in a way, it might be another word for it, then that's not typical. If the tantrum seems to be without cause, like you cannot identify as the adult, you can't identify what the trigger was, it just seemed like out of the blue, just like boom, they went from 0 to 10 and with no forewarning and no recognizable reason, that's really not typical either. Or maybe it's a really minor thing. You can identify the trigger, but it was so minor. It was like we were playing ball and the ball rolled around the corner of the couch and we can't see it. And wow, huge level 10 tantrum. That's really such a minor thing and shouldn't trigger a child. So the presence of these kinds of behaviors and intensity and frequency of tantrums, they can be a concern, especially if you're seeing a lot of these that I listed out. So I would recommend that you seek further help, further evaluation, perhaps a child psychologist, perhaps a developmental specialist, child developmental specialist, talk to your doctor, talk to a speech therapist, occupational therapist. That can make a really fantastic team, by the way, if you have those professionals involved in your life. Each one of them will be able to provide you some insights and help connect you with different evaluations and professionals if needed. So I hope this video helps. Please email me, comment if you have any questions. I'd love to help you. Please like, subscribe so you never miss a video. Oh, watch my video about how to decrease aggressive behavior and how to decrease tantrums if you have not already. I'll put a link. And leave a comment, subscribe, share. Oh yeah, share with someone you know who might be having trouble with these tantrums, okay? And thanks so much. I'm Kayla from Walkie Talkie. Bye-bye.